When you're developing a long-term game, one of the downsides that can happen is that before your game is released, or at least public ready, it's going to be hard to get any sort of positive feedback that you're going the right direction. And everywhere I see this, where there's developers who are in online communities who are just kind of each shouting over each other about their respective projects, no one's paying attention to each other's games, they get demotivated, they get demoralized, many of them fade and quit. One of the ways that we have found to avoid that systemically in our DevPods environment comes from this effect where I think about, you remember if you were in college or heck in high school presentations with groups, you're especially going to pay attention to the projects that you worked on. You have context for that. It affects you how it came out. Well, because in DevPods, we don't have a traditional team structure, people get assigned to projects, people can freely bounce around between games, it means that at any given time, the other games you either have already participated on in some capacity or you could. Your ears are always perked up for, this might actually apply to me. How this comes out may affect something in my portfolio. How it's being shaped might affect when I want to get involved with it this week. And that is enough so that everyone involved, when they're making something, they have an audience of peers who are paying attention to it. It's very, very different effect from the kind of walled off garden effect, again, of people each shouting about their own respective individual, isolated, siloed things for which others will not be able to see themselves as entangled into that, or as that being relevant to them. I think about there's this old parable about hell being people, I think, with long spoons so they can't drink or eat soup or something, but that heaven has the same long spoon. The difference is people help each other eat soup or drink. And it's the same sort of idea of like when people can actually be supportive of each other, when they can be involved on each other's projects. So we have just this little bit of structure in our community rules, membership agreement kind of stuff. It makes it possible and flexible where people can work together, know that they're not being exploited, know that their work isn't getting resold for someone else's profit, know that their stuff is not being misused, knowing that they have control over their own things and retain rights to their own work. Know that when you contribute to a game, other people are going to notice, other people are going to appreciate, other people are going to see that as connected to what they're doing, or could be, and maybe your involvement on a project. The great music you do in a game leads other people to want to go join that team. The cool feature you code leads other people to be a part of that team. DevPods is a place to do it. And through that kind of practice, what it does is helps build us up to the kind of teammate that when we show up, people are happy we're there. It's just a community where it's foster those kind of interactions, people building games together. Any member who wants can pitch and lead a project that are all documented internally. Anyway, DevPod GG for all the details. Find supportive peers who care, pay attention to the progress you're making in game development, who as developers can see the difficult thing you solved. That maybe to some non-developer, it's hard for them to appreciate some of the subtleties, but they understand the difficulties you're going through. So join us over at DevPods. That's it for now. I'll catch you next time. Bye for now.